welcome to another video. Today we are going to be making a cropped cardigan with bell sleeves, and this is a pattern I've drafted myself and it's going to be a mock-up, so this is just going to be made out of bed sheets, so we might make it again if it works out of some nicer material, but until then this is it. So I'm just going to jump straight into the video. I hope you all enjoy it and I'll see you at the end. Bye!
Hello everyone, it's VoiceOver Molly here, back for some good times, and what we're starting to do here is we're just pinning the fabric onto Matilda, my dress form, and tracing where I want the pattern to go and the shape of the pattern. Now that we have that drawn onto the fabric, we are going to take it to the table and trace that onto some tracing paper to create the pattern in paper. Once we've done that, we need to add a 1.5 centimeter seam allowance and then cut it out. And then once we have the front piece done, we do the exact same thing with the back piece. And now that we have them cut out, we're just going to see how they fit on Matilda, and you can see there does need to be a slight adjustment on the shoulder. Once all the adjustments are made, we are going to copy this onto our fabric and cut out our pattern. And once again we are pinning it onto Matilda, the dress form, just to make sure it's the best thing to do is just double and triple and quadruple check everything, because then there is a much smaller chance of getting something wrong. And of course there is always a bit of time for a bit of a silly dance, and here I am having a bit of a silly dance, and yes, I did fall over there. So here you can see I am drafting yet another pattern. This one is for the collar, and once I have it drafted I will cut it out in the fabric. And now we are drafting the sleeve pattern. And so I'm just taking a little break to water my plants. This is one of my palm trees, and I'm also watering, here is a baby avocado. It hasn't actually sprouted yet in this video, but right now it has sprouted and it is growing up, little shoot, and it looks great. And here you can see I've just spotted there is a spider on my little pot. I love a little spider. He was super cute. He did not want me to pick him up though, but I kind of need to get him out of the way because I didn't want him to get squashed or drowned. So I'm just trying to get him off the pot here, and he's running all over my table. Maybe we should name the little guy. I mean, I did just let him out on my window again, but you know, he deserves a name. What should we call him? What do you guys think he looks like? Comment down below, let me know. There's a lovely little bit of sunshine there as I cut out the fabric for the sleeve, and once I have that cut out I'm going to pin it into the armhole and then I will sew it up. Now what I am doing here is I am cutting out the piece for the bell end of the sleeve. So I have folded this fabric over into quarters, so folded it once and then folded over again, and then what I did was I made it into like an oval shape and then cut one side off, so one side would be longer than the other side to create this kind of draped look. And now I am sewing the sides of the top together. That's actually, sorry, the back of the top together. Okay, and here I am sewing on the first part of the collar. So what you want to do is you need to sandwich the neckline of the shirt in between two pieces of collar, which will both be right sides pointing together, and pin that down. It takes a while, but it's definitely worth it. Pin that all down and then sew down those pins. Once you have that done, you're going to flip them over and top stitch, so both those pieces of colour are top stitched down nicely together. And here you can see me doing that top stitching there.
We interrupt your regular programming to bring you The Rain on My Window.
Okay, so here we are ironing down the edges of that collar piece so that we can put the top part of the collar in, the actual part that you see, and you can see I'm just sewing that right sides together, and I will pull that inside out and top stitch that as well. Now you're going to put the top side of that collar in between the two sides of the bottom part of the collar. I'm not very good at explaining this, but here you can see it all pinned together, and you will sew over that. Now I have pinned the sleeve in, and I'm going to sew that over. I had to put a lot of darts or pleats in there, and you can see it's given it a nice puff. The next thing to do will be to sew the sides of the garment and the sides of the sleeves together. Okay, and here you can see where I have sewn the sides of the sleeves together up the top. Now, so those sleeves weren't quite long enough, so I've had to add an extra little panel in there just to make it long enough to go just past my elbow, and that's where it will join with the bell of the sleeve. And here we are pinning the bell of the sleeve to the top of the sleeve, and then you'll sew that down. And then we are sewing all the hems together. We are so close to being finished. Lots of ironing to do in this part, which isn't always fun, but it is quite satisfying. And the last bit is to add a bit of ribbon to tie it together at the top.
So, that was it. That was the video of how I made said cardigan. I'm actually going to put it on Matilda now, just so you can see it on. I can't remember if I filmed that already, but I'm going to do this now. So let's put it on my lovely Matilda here. Now, as you can see, it's not perfect. This material does have a stain in one of the sleeves, which is very disappointing because otherwise I do love this material. But it did work out quite well. A lot of it was draping, which was quite fun. This was actually my first attempt at properly draping something, which was actually easier than I imagined. But it was different. I don't know, I suppose I thought it would be more just, you know, put it on, there it is. But I put it on, there it was, and I thought I had it perfect, traced it out, and I thought everything was quite well and good, and then I cut out the pattern and it didn't work. Something wasn't right, so there was a lot of adjusting, going back and forth and fixing things up, but it's quite an enjoyable way to sew. Now, originally I thought I'd put some buttons here, but I really felt like this ribbon would be quite nice, quite ornamental and pretty. And actually originally the sleeves weren't going to be puffed, but I messed up a little bit on the pattern, and I left too much material in the sleeve, so that's why there is a puff sleeve on there. But I think that actually turned out quite nice. I quite like the puff sleeve, and I'm very, very happy with these bell sleeves. I think they're delightful. I really love them. I've wanted bell sleeves for a long time. Just turn Matilda around. It's not actually fully ironed here, you can see, but I like the back. I think it might be able to come in a little bit, but then again, you know, you don't want it to be too tight because this isn't a stretchy fabric. There we go, and again, these lovely sleeves. So there was a couple of things I'd do differently. First off, I think the sleeves need to be a little bit wider because they're a little bit tight on the biceps and on the elbows especially. I'm going to keep the puff sleeves. I think I like them, but I need to work it out a little bit better because they're a little bit uneven, as you can see. One of them has a better puff to it and the pleats are going the opposite direction. Apart from that, I love the collar. This is a straight collar. That was my first time making a collar, my first time putting a sleeve in, and well, it was a lot of firsts, this project, and for how many firsts it was, I'm actually quite happy with it. I'm not sure exactly what to call this. If you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. And apart from that, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and comment if you'd like to. And until next time, I hope you all have a lovely couple of weeks. Bye!